What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. Colin, Beazley, Noah, Hiles coming to you from PNC Park, where the Pirates win their second straight home series under Don Kelly as the manager. The Pirates only score 5 runs in this series, Colin, but take 2 of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds, a team that entered this series with a really good pitching staff. We saw that pitching staff. We saw the Pirates equal that firepower on the mound. There's a lot to talk about as far as the play that went down over the last 27 innings. But before we do that, I think the big thing we need to start with here is the news that we received, I guess, throughout this whole series, especially this morning. At the beginning of the weekend, we reported that Jared Jones was seeing Dr. Keith Meister to have his elbow re-examined, and that surgery was an option. On Tuesday, that appointment took place. This morning, we learned that Jones did undergo surgery. He is expected to miss 10 to 12 months. The surgery repaired his damaged UCL, but the surgery was not Tommy John surgery. So he's not going to miss perhaps all of next season. Actually, if you go by the time frame, 10 to 12 months sets him up on the front end of things, optimistically, a full return in March. And even if it's 12 months, the back end of things, he's coming back 50 games in to the season, maybe a little bit deeper, depending on when exactly that 12-month mark hits, Colin. But all things considered, I mean, obviously not great news. A lot of people hope to see Jared Jones return this year, but it could have been a lot worse. Is that right?
Yeah, that's kind of what Don Kelly was saying in the post-game press conference, too. Obviously, you never want to see a guy go down with a season-ending injury. You never want to see this sort of injury for a pitcher at this stage in his career. But the fact that he'll be able, in theory, to return for next year's season, to contribute for next year's season, and to be around in what hopefully at that point will be a Paul Skenes and Bubba Chandler-led rotation, it's something that, all things considered, is about as good news as you can get, considering there was an injury. The fact that it's not Tommy John, that's a win for the Pirates, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think the question a lot of people are asking was, why was this surgery not just done in March when this injury was diagnosed? I think, one, if it is not a clear conclusion that you need to get surgery, you don't get surgery. Surgery should always be the last option, especially for a pitcher with their throwing arm. And as Pirates Director of Sport Medicine Todd Tomczak noted, you also have to be mentally prepared for something like this. Mm-hmm. And he said in his press conference that, Jones was ready to attack the plan that the Pirates had, and that was originally not getting surgery. He went through that plan, had a setback, got the surgery. Now, no 2025 for Jared Jones. In the grand scheme of things, though, I mean, they're in last place. They're still 10-plus games under 500. If there were ever a year for him to miss, I guess it's this one.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair thing. And that's why him missing the end of the year is really not as bad as it could be. Yeah. I mean, he fully did his best to come back this year. I remember seeing him in New York and Philadelphia going and preparing to throw and going on those workouts. I don't know exactly when it happened, when he started feeling that elbow discomfort, but as recently as last week, he was on that rehab plan, throwing out to 100 feet, report the elbow discomfort, happens. So surgery happened, and he'll be back for next year.
While Jones has been missing, the starting pitching, Colin, has been really good. Under Don Kelly, 12 games, this starting rotation has a 1.70 earned run average. 7 of their 12 starts have been quality starts. One of those was not one of the ones that was not a quality start was Andrew Heaney today, but he still was solid. Goes 5 innings, only allows 1 run. It was the only run allowed today. The bullpen holding it down after getting kind of rocked around, roughed up in the first game of this series. Finishes with 2 shutout frames on Tuesday and then 4 shutout frames today. Overall, Bucks are throwing the baseball well.
Yeah, and I think even with those 7 quality starts in 12 games, Heaney wasn't bad today. He didn't go 6 innings. He went 5, but he still only gave up 1 run. You think about like Bailey Falter against the Mets. I think it was 3 2/3 innings. He, again, not a quality start, didn't give up a run. Even in those non-quality starts, the Bucs starters have found a way to put the Pirates in position to win. Obviously, the record in that frame, what is it, 5-7?
Yeah.
Yeah, not what you'd hope for, but at least the starting pitching is doing what you need it to do.
So why is the record not better, you might ask? It is because of the offense. As we alluded to earlier, they only scored 5 runs this series. Winning a series when you only score 5 runs is pretty impressive.
An incredible thing we witnessed over the last 3 days.
And that performance that we saw this series was just a continuation of what we've seen now for what's been almost a month. 26 straight games. The Pittsburgh Pirates have scored 4 or less runs. That ties the Major League record. The modern ball era record was held by the Boston Braves of 1931 and the California Angels of 1969. 2 pre-modern era teams also had 26 games of 4 runs or less. Both Boston Braves teams, I want to say it was like 1908 and 1918. I could be wrong there. But nonetheless, only 4 teams have ever done this prior to this season in the history of the game. And now the Pirates are number 5. Not a good record to be chasing.
No, and the fact that it could happen tomorrow against the Brewers, that they could have sole possession of the all-time mark, can't say I expected to see the Pirates make all-time history within 2 months of this season, but I guess that's the situation that we're in.
Absolutely. You alluded to it. Brewers coming to town. 4 games for the Brew Crew, or against the Brew Crew here at PNC Park before this 7-day, 7-game homestand concludes. Mike Burrows getting the start for the Pirates tomorrow. His first ever big league start. I believe it'll only be his 2nd career big league outing. He threw a couple of innings against New York last September. Colin, I put the Brewers series preview duties on you. Tell us what we should be looking out for over these next 4 days.
Yeah, so the Brewers, the 4th place team in the NL Central, they're coming in with a below 500 record, which I don't think a lot of people would have expected to see out of the Brewers at this point in the season. They're just 24-26. They lost 8-4 in extra innings against Baltimore today. And really the story for the Brewers has been that their stars have not performed like stars. Their 2 best players, Christian Yelich and Jackson Chourio, have both been slumping recently, and Yelich has been slumping throughout the entire season. He comes into this batting just 190. Jackson Chourio hasn't been much better. Obviously, he's very, very young, but he's not having the start to the season that they'd hoped he'd had. He's batting 237. Tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup because it's 2 starters who haven't started very much. Mike Burrows will be making just his 2nd Major League start. He's facing Carlos Rodriguez. They haven't announced it yet. The Journal-Sentinel reported this, so credit to them for this scoop. But Carlos Rodriguez will be starting for the Brewers. He'll be making just his 4th ever Major League start. Started 3 last season, had a 7.30 ERA, and lost all 3 games. So it's a matchup that the Pirates should hope to get something from, considering he doesn't have very much Major League experience. I'm interested to see what this series looks like for them because the Brewers haven't come in playing very good baseball. Pirates have come in playing some better baseball. So what are you expecting out of it?
Well, it's not like young, unproven arms have silenced Pirates hitters during this streak, right?
This is true.
That hasn't happened multiple times. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to expect any offense, Colin. I do expect the pitching to continue. And I will say, I mean, the team had every reason to revert back to its old form after a 1-5 homestand, but they played with energy this series here to get another series win over a team that swept them earlier in the season. So it's worth noting that. You got a bold prediction for this upcoming series, Colin?
Oh, I forgot to study a bold prediction. I'd say Mike Burrows continues the quality start train. He throws a quality start tomorrow.
Wow, that's a big one. I'm going to stay with what I predicted last series. Sometime this year, is going to have a multi-home run game. I said it was going to happen this past series. I meant the homestand. You guys know what I meant. So that's what I'm going to go with. He's Colin Beazley. I'm Noah Hiles. You can check out all of our work at Post-Gazette.com. Get yourself a digital subscription if you don't have one already. We cover all sports in Pittsburgh, from high school to college to professional. And we also cover all news things related in this city, right behind us, in the communities that surround it. Pretty big election yesterday. We were all over that. You can read everything that our talented co-workers cover at post-gazette.com, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you don't already at PG Pirates.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.